Hola a todos. Yo soy Bobby Judo. 皆さんこんにちは。Bobby Judo でございます。Hey everybody, it's Bobby Judo, and this is my 50th video. Today I'm going to answer 50 of the questions that you asked here on my last video as fast as I can. Let's see. What was the first question? No. That's one. 85 yen. What does the carpenter market look like in Japan? Questions to which the answer is no. Do you have plans of attaining citizenship in Japan? Have you noticed many American plant species in Japan? I don't notice a lot of plant species. Will you draw Mickey Mouse in 5 seconds? Do you still mistakenly order Coke at Mosburger because you forget it's actually Pepsi next? No, I do not, and thank God. Have you ever made your own ramen broth? Do you enjoy Japanese comedy shows? Do you say Happy Hanami? Is Japan what you thought it would be? And are you a judoka? No, I'm not. Then why is your name Bobby Judo? I get asked that a lot. It's a lucky accident that Bobby Judo, which has been my internet handle for years now, sounds like it relates to Japan. The truth is that Bobby Judo comes from an inside joke involving an ex-girlfriend and a mishearing of the Spanish word papichulo. There's your origin. Questions to which the answer is yes. Do you feel lonely when you can't speak your native language or see your family? Are there any foods in Japan that you haven't been able to stomach? Yes, there are. I can't eat namako and kazunoko. There are a lot of other things that I can stomach, but I don't want to eat, like natto or konowata or kanimiso. If you could go back in time before you left for Japan, would you still go? Would you still go to the same place, same job, same city, do the same things? Yes. Have you ever considered studying mixology and fusing American and Japanese alcohol flavors into new drink recipes? Yes, I have, although in terms of cocktails, Japanese mixology has a long way to go to catch up with America. It's not really a cocktail culture. Yamanobori suki desu ka? Is Japan what you thought it would be? Yes. It's a country of paradoxes. What is the most popular music in Japan? J-pop. What is a traditional Japanese breakfast like? Where do you buy deodorant? America. What is your favorite drink? Tie between two beers, Ebisu's Silk Yebisu and Shipyard Brewery's Pumpkinhead Ale. When did you discover Japan and Japanese culture? Why did you choose to live in Japan? When I was in high school, I discovered thinking about stuff. And I went through a pretentious phase where I thought Zen Buddhism was the answer to everything. That was probably what sparked my interest in Japan, though to be honest, Zen Buddhism, or any religion really, has almost no bearing on daily life here. And then I knew I wanted to live in a different country, wanted to experience a different culture, and if you're an English major, it's easy to get a teaching job and to come over. It's pretty similar. Houses, kids playing baseball. I wouldn't say there are any more or less cars. Streets are narrower because originally they were all footpaths. You're more likely to pass a shrine or a rice paddy, and because I live in an agricultural area, I feel like I'm much more likely to see just like a heron hanging out. It's pretty similar. I think it's more scenic. I tend to think that the average everyday scene on the street is more beautiful than it was at home, but I guess that's just because it's different from what I grew up with. On average, how long do the cherry blossoms stay on the trees in Kyushu? About 10 to 14 days, I think, is the average. Do we have more flowers in Tokyo because we're further south? I don't think we have more. I mean, we might have more trees in general than a city, but because we're further south, our trees bloom a little bit earlier than Tokyo. I've got a long way to go yet, but I studied for a year at college before I came to Japan, and since then I've had 3 years of immersion and counting. Do you know of any good resources that can be used to help somebody learn Japanese? Yes, lang8.com, the Rikai-chan plugin for your internet browser. Social networks like Mixi are a great place to practice your written Japanese. And of course, plug my own site, The Daily Yoji. 30. How many Yoji Jukugo do I know by heart? That I could recognize on sight, maybe like 80 or so. That I could write on my own, probably like 20. And if you ask me to just start listing them out, I could probably get to about 30 before I slowed down and then drag it out to 50 or so. That's too easy because you added the option of having an impossible pet. If I could have an impossible pet, I would bring back the cat that Brett and Nirav and I took care of a few years ago. Brett's neighbors kept him tied up to the balcony outside of their apartment, and they fed him ramen. And we would untie him and take him into Brett's apartment and give him cat food and play with him, and we named him Train Bike. But when he got older, he started seeing this skanky little stray cat, and eventually they ran off together. He was the best cat in the universe, and we loved him, despite the fact that he peed on Brett's futon with uncanny determination, and once he pooped ramen on me. What is your favorite/least favorite thing about living in Japan? The thing that I like most and dislike most about living in Japan is this: getting special treatment because I'm foreign. That's hypocrisy in action. What is your favorite site in Japan? I like Matsushimaya outside of Sendai. It's one of the top 3 most beautiful locations in Japan. My favorite haiku is by the haiku master Basho, written to express the majesty and beauty of Matsushimaya. It goes like this: Matsushimaya, ah Matsushimaya, Matsushimaya. That's true. I think it's the perfect example of how beautiful and ridiculous haikus are as an art form. What did you want to do when you were a child? I wanted to be a writer. I still do. We met in a river in a town called Nanayama. We both went to take part in the annual Nanayama waterfall climb event. She loves taking pictures, and I had a waterproof camera. Do you plan on raising a family in Japan? We plan on starting a family in Japan. We plan on raising a family in the world. That's pretty close to the cheesiest thing I've ever said. 日本にしかない表現やものがあったら教えて。いっぱいあるよ。元気。元気という言葉は特に英語に直しにくい。あと、よろしくお願いします。や、お疲れ様です。などのような決まり文句も難しいですね。What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? I think you know that you haven't given me sufficient information to answer that question. What would you choose for your last meal? Palomilla steak with black beans and rice, Cuban bread, and sweet fried plantains. What's my ethnic background? Irish and English on my father's side, Russian on my mom's, but I'm like 3rd or 4th generation American. Like all people, I enjoy onigiri, and my favorite is this shrimp and mayonnaise onigiri. Oh, this one's from a friend of mine. What is your favorite jinja in Saga and why? Shut up, Nirav. Not in front of the internet. And he also asks, why do you punch people in the kidneys? Because they ask questions like that. Number 45. If I had the opportunity to change one thing about myself, what would it be and why? I'd have better metabolism, because the older I get, the more my love of food is going to cost me. Why do you think Tokyo Sam is the biggest pimp in the J-Land, and can you show us your... Who's Tokyo Sam? What's your favorite food to cook? Shrimp. I love cooking shrimp. They're easy, they cook fast, and you can use them in anything. How do you go from book learning to conversation with Japanese? Make Japanese friends. You can do it online. You can get active in a Japanese community if there is one near where you live, or come to Japan. Basically, just put yourself in a situation where you not only have the opportunity to use the language, but you need to. What should I do if I really want to move to Japan? Save money. Save money and look into the kind of job opportunities that are available for foreigners here, and then work on being qualified for them. You can also go the student route and check out language schools and study abroad programs here. What are your true intentions for YouTube, and how does it relate to your domination of the global cooking market? I'd really like to publish a cookbook or work with a cooking or food show or something like that in Japan, but no one's just going to come along and offer me a job like that out of nowhere. So I started doing the YouTube vids and food blogging to have something concrete to show to people who might be able to help me with those goals. TV and books still feels like kind of a stretch for where I am right now, but I'd be happy to just have my own small restaurant somewhere. That'd be nice. Until then, I'm going to keep having fun with the videos and stuff, trying to put myself out there. So far, it's been going pretty well. That's 50 questions. If you didn't get an answer in the video, sorry, I'll get you one in the comments. Thanks for asking. Thanks for always watching. See you next time.